Hey everybody, back in the studio for Mobility in Motion. And today I'm going to talk about paintball basics for the hip. Getting at the external rotators in the hips is a little bit difficult to do with something like a foam roller. Unless you have some really great friends who are willing to dig their thumbs or elbows in there, you're going to have to do it yourself, and the easiest way to do it is with the paintball, either a lacrosse ball, solid rubber, or if you're just too tender and knot it up, you can use a tennis ball as well. We've got both here at the studio. So what we do is first we're going to want to get in all those external rotators. They sort of reside on the top half of your glute, biasing towards this upper right-hand quadrant on the right side, upper left-hand quadrant on the outside. But you have to get the orientation right. So getting in on this requires you to sit down, cross the leg over the opposite knee that you are attempting to de-adhese, and you're going to get on this thing and go to work and just hang out in that quadrant. And you might make a little bit of the crazy horse face, which is the one eye kind of like this, and just work those spots and come at these points obliquely. So in other words, if you've got a knot or a trigger point, say here, you're going to work around it and test into that point until eventually you can roll it out. You don't want to be, you will feel a little discomfort, it's a trigger point, but you don't have to put the paintball right on it and wait it out while you cringe. So that's number one, spending time on the paintball, getting at that portion of the glute, open up the piriformis and get it to function normally, improving your internal, external rotation at the hip. Now, you've also got some of the tensor fascia lata coming up through here, and a little bit more of the gluteus medius up at the hip that you can't get at until you have this sort of extension. It's hard to do on the ground. So you're going to use a wall, take the ball, tack it on the wall, press your hip up into it, step the foot back, and notice I'm internally rotating by dropping my heel, and then you go to work again, higher up, almost to your waist, getting in all the musculature up in there, and you'll find some spots that are just a little tight. Remember, if something starts going numb, you're on a nerve, don't want to be there. But just finding those knots will then open up that hip really nice and easy. And you'll notice a difference from one side to the other when you're finished. So that's what you want to do with the paintball on your hip. That's a start. Take care.